Have you ever met someone who seemed completely confident, but later you realized they were just as insecure as everyone else? Or maybe you've noticed how some people act differently around certain groups, and it made you question what's actually real. The truth is, human behavior is full of patterns that sound fake at first, but once you see them, you can't unsee them. And today, we're breaking down 8 of those facts that might completely change how you see people. Let's get into it. Number 1. People don't think about you as much as you think. Most people walk around feeling like they're constantly being judged. What they say, how they look, how they act. It feels like everyone is paying attention, noticing every small mistake. You replay conversations in your head, wondering if you sounded awkward or said the wrong thing. But here's the reality. Most people are too busy thinking about themselves to think about you that deeply. They're worrying about their own problems, their own image, their own insecurities. And this is where it gets interesting. The pressure you feel is often self-created. Once you realize this, something shifts. You start moving more freely, speaking more openly, and caring less about minor imperfections, because the spotlight you thought was on you is never really there. Number 2, confidence often comes after action, not before. A lot of people wait to feel ready before they do something. They think confidence is something you need first, before speaking up, before trying something new, before putting yourself out there. So they delay, overthink, and stay stuck. But here's the thing. Confidence is usually the result, not the starting point. Most confident people didn't feel ready when they began. They just acted anyway. And over time, their brain adjusted, their comfort zone expanded, and confidence followed. This is why waiting to feel confident can keep you stuck for years. Action creates proof, and that proof slowly rewires how you see yourself. Number 3, people reveal who they are through small patterns, not big moments. When we judge people, we tend to focus on big actions, what they say in important moments, how they act during major events. But those moments can be controlled. People prepare for them. They think carefully about how they want to appear. What really shows who someone is are the small, repeated behaviors. How they treat people when there's nothing to gain. How consistent they are when no one is watching. The tone they use in casual conversations. Most people don't realize this, but patterns are harder to fake than single actions. And if you pay attention to those patterns, you'll understand people on a much deeper level, without them ever having to explain themselves. Number 4, silence makes people uncomfortable, and that changes their behavior. In conversations, silence feels awkward. When there's a pause, people rush to fill it. They start explaining more, talking faster, or even revealing things they didn't plan to say, just to avoid that uncomfortable gap. And this is where it gets interesting. Silence actually has power. When someone doesn't immediately respond, it creates pressure. The other person starts wondering what you're thinking, questioning their own words, and often saying more than they intended. This isn't about manipulating people. It's about understanding how human discomfort works. Silence slows things down, and in that space, people tend to show more of what's really on their mind. Number 5, people often like you more when you're not trying too hard. It sounds backwards, but the more you try to impress people, the more pressure you create for yourself and for them. You start overthinking what to say, adjusting your behavior, trying to come across a certain way. And without realizing it, it can feel a bit forced. But when you relax and stop trying so hard, something shifts. Your behavior becomes more natural, your reactions more genuine, and people can feel that. And here's the deeper truth. People are drawn to authenticity more than perfection. When you're not constantly trying to prove something, you give others permission to be themselves too. And that's where real connection starts to form. Number 6, the way people treat others is often a reflection of themselves. It's easy to take things personally. When someone is rude, dismissive, or negative, it feels like it's about you. You start questioning what you did wrong or why they acted that way. But most of the time, their behavior says more about them than it does about you. Their stress, their mindset, their habits, it all leaks into how they treat others. This doesn't mean you should ignore bad behavior, but it does change how you interpret it. Instead of absorbing it, you start observing it. And that shift alone can protect your energy in ways most people don't realize. Number 7, people respect boundaries more than constant availability. Being always available might seem like the best way to be liked. You respond quickly, you say yes often, you try to be there for everyone. At first, it feels like you're doing the right thing. But over time, something unexpected can happen. People start taking that availability for granted. And this is where it gets deeper. Boundaries create structure. They signal self-respect. When you value your own time and energy, others begin to value it too. It's not about pushing people away. It's about showing that your presence isn't something unlimited. And that makes it more meaningful. Number 8, most people are not as sure of themselves as they seem. From the outside, it looks like some people have everything figured out. They speak confidently, make decisions quickly, and carry themselves in a way that feels certain. It's easy to assume they don't struggle with doubt the way you do. But the truth is, a lot of that certainty is built over uncertainty. Many people are figuring things out as they go, just like everyone else. They just don't show it. And once you understand this, something changes in how you see the world. You stop putting others on a pedestal, and you start realizing that confidence isn't about having no doubt. It's about moving forward despite it. And that realization alone can be incredibly freeing. At first, these facts might sound a little hard to believe, but once you start noticing them in real life, they become impossible to ignore. Human behavior isn't always obvious, but when you understand these patterns, you start seeing people more clearly, and maybe even understanding yourself better too. And if you found yourself relating to even one of these, there's a good chance there are more patterns you haven't noticed yet. So if you enjoy this kind of insight, make sure to stick around, because the more you understand how people really think, the more control you have over your own life. See you in the next video.